All right, there we go. We're in Fontainebleau. Do you want to sit up here? I'll check in a second once I stop. Once I find a parking spot to talk about what we're doing, what the next step is, why you need to figure out some goals, you don't want to get stuck and so on. Okay, bye. Hello everyone. All right, so welcome to our spot, and I hope we're gonna stay here for about a week. This video is an update video about what's going on, what I'm doing, where I'm gonna go, and it's also gonna be, I wanna talk about my goals. Because I need to, and I wanna do it publicly so that I can kind of hold myself accountable to certain things. All right, so to start off, right now we are in a big forest that is near Paris, not far, about an hour away, and we just used the app Park for Night to find this spot. We were living in the vehicle around Paris in a parking lot right by where our old camp was for a few weeks actually, and Alex and Vanessa, they were often sleeping in the vehicle with me. Didn't have a lot of space or for myself or freedom, and I just couldn't think. Anyway, I'm feeling much better now, now that I've been taking my Prozac over the past week or so, so I think that's starting to take effect. Feel better also now that I've got the whole world in front of me, and a bit of peace and quiet here. All right, so now the plan is to make some goals for myself for the next year. In reality, this part of my life right now is chapter 13. I'm starting chapter 13. But unfortunately, I kind of broke up the Paris thing as I was living it. And so right now, this is technically chapter 15. So these are going to be my chapter 15 goals. And well, it's also sort of some lifetime goals. Get myself a little bit organized. The reason that I avoid goals typically is because the goals that have been imposed on me were never really attainable. Go to this class, then go to that one, then study for the first one, then write an essay for the second one, and juggle the two over the course of 2 weeks, and then submit it. And couldn't do it. Don't really know why. I mean, I have ADHD. That's certainly part of it. And so I've avoided goals and just kind of been like, no plans, no goals. I just want to, life will throw lemons at me, and I'll just make some lemonade on the spot. I probably won't have a whole lemonade empire. That would require far too much planning and so on, but I can make some lemonade, and maybe if I make a really good recipe, then I will leave that for posterity. I'm gonna stick with the no plans thing for a bit, as far as no plans about where I'm gonna go, where I'm gonna work, how I'm gonna blah blah blah. So no professional or no plans really, but I am gonna come up with some personal goals, and relating to my critical thinking mission. So, but how do I do that? The problem is that if I say, for instance, okay, do this one thing every day, there's some days I'm just not going to do it. And on the one hand, you want to feel bad about it because that's what helps you do it the other days. But then on the other hand, when you keep encountering that, you keep failing to do it, well, then that can really hurt your morale. So right now, my productivity is kind of unpredictable. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to work on this, when I'm gonna be able to get myself to open up my computer and do this. And so basically, my goal for this next year, at least, is going to be about me being less unpredictable, about me learning to predict, learning to leave enough time for me to get the things done that I want to get done. So for instance, I'm not going to ask myself to get up at 9 a.m. and start working on something. I know that I just have to think about the thing from the time that I get up for about 4 hours until I'm actually able to get up and work on it. I know that I'm not going to be making a video every day, editing a video every day, not right now anyway. So basically I'm going to work on that now, and then I'm going to start up the video again, get back to you. And thanks for helping. You can put a comment encouraging me. Hey, you're going to do great. And then also any tips that you've had. Oh, look at me asking for comments. Any tips that you have about how to, about different coping things. And usually I'm so close-minded about different tips because I hate when neurotypicals offer these tips and without any real understanding of the problem. Then again, I don't really understand the problem. And so I may as well just try things, right? I just hate when people make it sound so easy. And I think that's what's made me closed-minded to tips in general. Okay, let's do that. Bye. I think my goal for that time that I just took since the last video, I think I forgot what my goal was as I was driving on my way here, because I had a clear idea of what I wanted to do. All right, so here's what I propose. Once a week, every week, we have to write out the breakdown of a chapter, which is a really simple thing and can be done in like 10 minutes. But it's such a daunting task to me. I just have to do one a week. Once a day I have to write a script, 1 page minimum. Doesn't have to be good, doesn't have to be complete. And we're just gonna see how this goes. And what I think I'm gonna try to do is maybe, but then again, I don't really have the motivation to record myself when I'm, just in bed not doing anything. But what would be good is to record that. To record sort of what I'm struggling with and to try to figure out what the voices are that are sort of what the missing voices are, why I'm not getting up and so on. I should also take my medicine every day. And then the last thing is we're going to start off with just 3 hours a week working on translations for that game. Those people that I have not contacted in months that were excited because I was supposed to be available and supposed to work on it. Look, it was summer, family was here, I was moving, a whole bunch of stuff. Now, I still have to worry about my residency permit, but at least I am, look at that, this is very nice. Thank you to Mother, of course, for this vehicle. And still hoping that in a year she'll be able to talk to me about the things that I want and my interests and needs before she gives advice. 'Cause I'm not talking to my mother right now. We were way too close, so I was hearing a lot of advice all the time and a lot of like, don't do this, do this. And a lot of feelings about, sort of the things that I was doing. And you can say it's totally normal. She's a mother, so of course she's gonna be worried that you want to live in a tent. Okay, but I need to live in a tent. I need to continue to be outside, have adventures. And so I can't be influenced by someone that hasn't taken the time to really get to know sort of my needs and so on. Okay, great. But thank you very much for the vehicle. And all right, bye. And wish me luck. Oh, and the point of doing those two things, those three things, of writing a script every day, of doing a chapter every week, and of doing at least 3 hours on translations every week, which is, okay, don't feel bad about that. We're just starting there. The point of all of that is that that's all part of my ultimate plan of trying to understand the mind and be able to find a sort of a cure for our lack of reason. And also how to get people to question themselves more and open themselves more to information and evidence, etc. So first, I need to learn the current programming of the mind, the things that imitate reason and the things that should show us clearly that we don't have it, that we are not reasonable. But unfortunately, it's so fucking obvious. That's what's depressing. It's like, how do I explain this to you? It's so obvious. You just don't want to accept it. You just don't want to accept that your brain is run on these programs. I mean, I made a video the other week talking about how in like TV, we use certain indicators of whether or not someone is a bad guy. And then we get the audience to see that person as bad or another as good, regardless of their actual actions, regardless of their moral actions, the moral consequences, the consequences of their actions. And so what happens is, like, we see someone, I don't know, wearing a mustache. It's a bad example because it's one that we are more aware of. So something subtler is making too much eye contact or speaking too slowly or something like that. And having the wrong cadence, having a weird cadence. And that's enough for us to be okay if the person gets killed and whatever. And I made a video trying to explain this. And I got a comment, someone said, oh yeah, the way that we know that he's bad is because, and then they indicated something that he actually did wrong. What I'm trying to show you is your programming, of how your programming is wrong. Of how, even if he hadn't done that, there are all these other indications that that were supposed to make you think he was bad. In fact, you only see that as an indication that he was bad because of these other indications. You guys just don't want to see it. You just keep wanting to think that, the whole video, I'm so frustrated. The whole video was about, hey, look at how script writers and directors, they make us, they tell us, they sort of manipulate us into how we perceive each character, what moral level we perceive the character. The whole video is how they manipulate us. And I was like, hey guys, look for ways that they might have done that. And then the response I got was, oh yeah, because he almost ran over those people. A, he did not almost run over those people. And B, it's not what I'm talking about. You are unreasonable. We are unreasonable. So how did they trick us into thinking, not actually something, boy. I just, this is why I lose hope. I'm losing hope right now. Okay, anyway. Great. So that's the point of all that. I need to learn all these different voices, in-group, out-group, confirmation bias, spotlight effect, clustering illusion, whatever. There are hundreds of them. Gotta learn a bunch of them. Start working on voice maps. Okay, I could make this a series. ADHD, I don't know. Then that is another thing I'd have to do. Could be useful for some people. It's definitely hot and so on social media, the whole ADHD thing. And my most watched video was about ADHD. Talking like 2,500 views. So, whereas all my other videos have about 8.